What's going on, guys? It's been a while. Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I know you guys have been looking for Black Friday deals, so this video is going to curate it for you so you don't have to waste brain cycles on this. I've gone through all the stuff that I've seen. If you guys have seen more or want me to explain more, let me know in the comments below. Firstly, we'll start with Sweetwater, and I do have my own product that at the end I'll pitch to you guys, so get ready for the sales pitch. So here is Sweetwater, and basically you can click on any of these tabs to go through the different categories. So I've already done that for you guys. The first one is the recording category. You want to look for the Shure SM7B. If you guys are trying to get into podcasting, this is the go-to mic for all things podcast. So I have it right on my desk. I have two of them and I paid for them, and I'm using this little small desk mount that looks like this right here. Okay, so if you guys find this, you could probably find it on Amazon for cheaper. So all you guys really need is the SM7B microphone itself, which is just this part right here. See if you guys can find that solo, and then I would recommend a little stand for your desk if you guys are going to be using desks. Okay, so that's for the recording side. I really didn't find anything else attractive in the recording stuff. They have another deal for Universal Audio UAD guitar effects plugins. In my opinion, this bundle's more for vibey melodies. So if you guys are trying to create vibe with your melodies, whether it's guitar or not, this bundle is for you. It's pretty affordable. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on UAD plugins, so the fact that you guys can get this for less than $100 is kind of insane to me. But yeah, the Galaxy Echo, this is like your Tyler the Creator modern R&B effect. The LA3A is good for vocals, drums, bass. The Studio D effect is good for like Travis Scott melodies. Lexicon 224 is great for all things trap, hip hop, hop, yeah, really anything. And the Brigade chorus here is good for melodies as well. I don't really use the rotary, but that's dope too. Next up, we have Image Line. The producer editions, what I recommend you guys grab, and you guys can get that for under, it used to be 200 from what I remember, but now it's like 140. That's the only bundle that I could recommend. All the other ones are just like, if you guys just want to get everything, go for it. The way I recommend it though is that get the producer bundle and then upgrade the plugins like over time. So if you find yourself using plugins over time, then buy the plugin from them. That's what I recommend. Next up, we got, what is this? I don't even know what this is. So this is UAD Select 3 bundle. Now the thing about bundles, I do like the select idea. The problem is I don't know which plugins you can select, so that's, you guys might have to do more research. Okay, plugins available for Apollo and UAD 2. So basically, if you want to select anything from this top row, you have to have their interface, which costs a lot of money for most people. These other plugins, you could probably get access to these on their website a different way. So anything here, let me see. Okay, we could pick what, 3 plugins. You guys got to do research. Really, it's just, is it worth the value? 3 plugins for $109. I'll say yes, because again, I used to spend thousands of dollars for their plugins. One plugin could be $300. So getting a plugin even half off back then was $150 per one plugin. In fact, you guys get this stuff for way cheaper. So if I had to like snipe some stuff, it'd be De-Stressor. If you're into tape stuff, the Ampex stuff is cool. 1176 is good for recording. The Moog, Mini Moog, if you guys are into production. SSL 4000 if you guys just want the go-to kind of run-in-the-mill channel strip. LA2A, great for vocals. LA3A, bass and vocals. The Sniper list, if I had to kind of quickly go through those. So I think the value's there regardless of what you guys pick. Next up is the Sonnox Oxford stuff. I only use their inflator plugin, and the fact that you can get it for $30 is pretty dope. I think I paid 70 or 90 for it back in the day, so that's the one I would snipe here if you guys are going to go for the inflator. Basically, you could use that on your vocals to, I believe it does upward compression if I'm not mistaken, okay, which is what most people overlook in their vocal mixing chain. Everything else, I don't really use Sonnox brand like that, so I can't speak on that. So nextly, we have FabFilter. FabFilter Pro Q3 has become my go-to EQ. All things FabFilter are just fire. Pro Q3, L2. I don't use Saturation 2 as much, but that's good. The Pro C2. So these plugins are like, if you want the definitive multi-band compressor, there's FabFilter Pro MB. If you want the definitive compressor, FabFilter Pro C2. Really, you can't miss with any of their plugins. I'd recommend the standard technical stuff like compressors, multi-band compressor, their EQ, saturation plugin, L2. Fire. Okay, everything else like de-esser, would I recommend $130 de-esser? Not really. The reverb, I don't use the reverb. Okay, so that's what I recommend for FabFilter. You cannot go wrong with the EQ, the L2, the saturation, the multi-band, or the compressor. You can't go wrong with those. They're just supreme. They're the best of the best. It looks like you can get a bundle here. What is this? I can't tell what that is. Okay, so you get the compressor, the MB, EQ, and L2. So if you guys are ready to just jump in for all things mixing, this one's the one to get. I'm not sure if you save money, but I'm pretty sure you do. We have the Universal Audio stuff again. So this is the Studio Classics native. So this is for more people who record. These compressors, basically this stuff is more for acoustic drums and like recording. So if you guys aren't into mixing acoustic drums, I wouldn't really mess with this stuff right here as a producer. But if you want it in your collection, the value is there. The 176, that's what it's called. I use that on like my Griselda type stuff. It adds like a grit to the sound. I don't use anything else, but this looks more like drum stuff. Auto-Tune has an offer. All right, so most people think you need Auto-Tune Pro to use Auto-Tune. You can actually use the Auto-Tune FX to get the Auto-Tune sound. Most people don't know that. So I would recommend just hopping into the, oh wait, they even have a cheaper one. Auto-Tune Access 10 pitch correction plugin. That's pretty insane. You can get Auto-Tune for 25 bucks. Auto-Tune Access, that's pretty insane. If you guys need Auto-Tune, I'd go with that one. I saw in a major studio, they were using Auto-Tune FX because I never heard of it at that point when I went through there. I'm pretty sure that does Auto-Tune. Maybe it adds more effects on top. Auto-Tune for 25 bucks, insane value, like insane value. If you guys are getting into the Travis Scott, Kanye West vocal effect, and if you guys want specific videos on any plugin you see on this screen, let me know in the comments below because I'll make a video about it. Harmony Engine, if you guys are getting into the Kanye West, Travis Scott sound, this thing is like a secret gem. It's the Mike Dean sound that I covered in many of my videos before. He can run, basically you can run a distorted guitar through Entourage Harmony Engine to create that like Kanye type melody, or you can run your vocals through it to create that Kanye vibe from like Dark Twisted Fantasy type era. Okay, so that's affordable. If you guys had that on your list, it's time to grab that. Everything else, I don't really mess with the Auto-Tune ecosystem like that. Next up, shout out to Jake from Minimal Audio. Drew from Ado Sounds put me on, so shout out to Ado Sounds. And Minimal Audio just needs to be understood how they're creeping up on these top companies. Basically, just honorable shout out. This is more for sound designers, I would say. The Minimal Audio Current 2.0 sound designers can look at that one. Next up, shout out to DJ Swivel. I made a video, but I need to update my video. I just didn't have time yet. This hit strip plugin it made my vocals sound pristine. I was actually shocked. It made my vocals feel like I was on the radio as a real radio host talking on the radio. The secret is this exciter part here. I don't know if you guys can see that. My head's in the way. But basically this exciter part, that low gain is crazy. Okay, especially for a lower voice person like me. I've never had something that is built for my vocal, and this plugin does that. So the hit strip, definitely great on vocals. I haven't really messed with it on beats just yet, but on vocals, that thing is actually shockingly good. Okay, then we have, what is this, UAD stuff. Okay, distressor for 50 bucks if you guys are into like an all-around compressor. Again, this is for people who, you know, compress like acoustic stuff more than like beats. Okay, so if you guys are into acoustic stuff, the distressor is really good. Wait, you get all this? Wait, Universal UAD Essentials Edition plugin bundle for 50 bucks. So from what I can see, you get, looks like a plate reverb, Galaxy Tape Echo, Pultec, LA2, and a tape machine. Darn, that's pretty insane. The fact that you get that for 50 bucks. Again, UAD is starting to listen to where they're now making their stuff more palatable so that we can hop into their ecosystem so that when we level up, then we can have access to their ecosystem. So I love that they're actually offering stuff that's affordable now. I've never used their Auto-Tune plugin, but that's interesting. Vocal Suite plugin. What else is here? SSL, only if you guys are like really trying to learn about SSL. I wouldn't really buy this for the value, but more so if you're trying to learn about SSL, that might be good. But Waves probably has something for like 1/3 the price, to be honest. I don't use the Avalon 737. I have a real one, but I've never used the plugin. API, again, only if you're recording acoustic stuff. If you guys just want the 1176, this is great for vocals. 29 bucks is insane. It's a really good compressor. Use the Blueface one. Turn your attack to 3, release to 7, turn your input up to about halfway or more, or about like, 9 o'clock, and then turn your output the opposite. So what is that, 3 p.m. and mess with your vocal and just see how crazy it sounds on your vocal. I learned that from Streaky. Combining that with FabFilter L2 can sound amazing on any vocal. Next up, we got iZotope RX. The RX stuff has been a secret weapon of sound designers and just people who are really at the high level of audio. This thing can get rid of clicks like a magician. It can get rid of plosives. It can get rid of, it just is about audio repair. I never used it for anything outside of audio repair, but it also does batch processing. So anytime I need to convert a file type of like MP3 to OGG for whatever reason, I can do that in bulk. I can load up thousands of files and just hit run, and it will go through one by one and just convert whatever I need to convert. Or it does other processes too, like vocal stem stuff. It does a lot of stuff. I would say if you guys are on the advanced curve, like you're way in the advanced world, this is your time to hop into the iZotope RX ecosystem, only if you're super advanced. Next up is the Native Instruments offers. Okay, so Guitar Rig Pro for 94 bucks. I would say yes, but only if you guys are dedicating your sound to like guitar stuff. If not, I don't pull up Guitar Rig like non-stop. I just don't. I don't play guitar enough, electric guitar enough. The reason I got into their ecosystem is because of Native Instruments Complete. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy an individual instrument, if that makes sense. So it's hard to really recommend individual instruments from Native Instruments without the whole bundle. So I would just look into the bundle offers for you guys. I wouldn't recommend anything in particular. If anything, the Middle East is really good for drill melodies India is good for drill melodies. Contact 8 is really good in general to have. India is really good again. And the Stradivari violin, I'm not sure if that was listed. Okay, so again, if you're advanced, super advanced, I have a Chord Kronos right here. Chord Kronos has the best sounds in a keyboard I've ever heard in my entire life. Out of all of the keyboard workstations I've had a Yamaha Motif, XF, Yamaha, Roland, FA08. I've had the Chord Kronos. It blows those out of the water. So I think this is the evolution of the Chord Kronos. I have the Chord Kronos 2. I think Zaytoven has one as well. Chord Kronos, nothing beats the sound, in my opinion. If you guys are looking for a MIDI controller, the FL Key 37 is really, really good. You don't need to have a bunch of keys. So I would not upgrade to like 61 and 88 keys if that's even a thing. I would keep it pretty small. So I think I have the FL Key 37. This one's big enough. It's so sturdy that I let my son bang on the keys and step on it, and it's still good. I know it works. Okay, so even he figured out the buttons. He could press buttons and stuff, and he's won. So this one's really good. I like it. It's sturdy. It holds up. My other Novation keyboard though, the pitch wheel broke, but this one, it's sturdy. Okay, so this one I would highly recommend. It's built for producers who use FL Studio. It's like built specifically for us. It has a record button right here, play button, metronome button, undo button, and I forget what else is on the side there. But this is the one. If you needed one MIDI controller and use FL, this is the one. In Pro Studios, I've noticed them using the Slate Digital mics, so shout out to Slate Digital. In fact, you guys can get this for like a lot off. It's crazy. I don't have one, but I've heard it in real studios, like professional studios. If you guys are doing like content creation, the SM7B is just like a go-to mic. So before I said, if you guys can get the SM7B by itself, here's where you would get it by itself, not as a bundle. It looks like there's two ones, dynamic vocal mic with active preamp. So basically it turns up the volume for you. Whereas if you don't have this, you might have to crank the volume a lot to get it to where it is. I'm cranking mine like 50 dB to even get you guys to hear me right now. That's the difference. I didn't know they sold them active like that. If you're into rock drums, the API 2500 is really good for like snare drums specifically if you're into acoustic drums. Okay, the Yamaha HS8s, if you guys are looking into getting some speakers. Now this one is hit or miss. If you don't have a room that's treated for like acoustic treatment, it'll sound crap. It sounded like crap in my first home studio. When I went to a pro studio, I'm like, these speakers bang. And I looked at the speakers and I was like, wait, they're Yamaha HS8s? I was like, they sounded so crazy at my house, but when I went into a studio, they sounded amazing. So this I can only recommend if you're gonna invest into acoustic treatment so that your room does not sound like a room. Okay, you want it to sound like a studio. So I can only recommend this if your guys are gonna commit to doing acoustic treatment. If not, can't recommend those because they don't sound good without acoustic treatment, but they sound amazing with acoustic treatment. All right, Plugin Boutique is another company that also offers sales. Think of it like a Ross or a Marshalls. At first, when I first did business with them, I was like unsure, but they're, you know, validated or whatever. So I'll just quickly go through these deals to see what pops out. FabFilter Pro Q3 again is fire. Any of the UAD stuff, pretty much you guys are gonna see overlap from Sweetwater. So I'm not gonna say the stuff we already talked about. Scalar 2, highly recommend for music producers. It's just, you need it for all things music production because finding keys of stuff and doing all the complex chords and finding scales you didn't even know about, that's the plugin. Scalar 2, highly recommend that plugin. Now, is there anything else that I use that we haven't seen on Sweetwater? Not really, because when you guys see these deals, they usually kind of broadcast it to all the sub dealers. So you're going to see the same stuff pretty much on here that you do on Sweetwater. The FabFilter stuff, highly recommend you guys look into that. Nothing really different from Sweetwater. Except for Scalar 2. And let's see what else. Is there anything else? I'm really going through. So Expand 2 used to be $1 and then it went up to $15. Now it's $100. So you guys should have got it when it was cheap. All right, so that's Plugin Boutique. Nothing really jumps out to me. Plugin Alliance. Now Plugin Boutique has a lot of deals over the year, so they're not always gonna have the greatest stuff right at the end of the year. Plugin Alliance, it looks like they are really going crazy with the sales from what I could see. I haven't used all the plugins, but I'll just point out the ones that stand out to me. So I haven't used any of the new stuff, so let's scroll by all that. Okay, our best sellers. Let's just use the bestseller stuff because we're not gonna get too deep in the woods. HG2 is good, but I'm trying to think. Do I have the mid-side version? I think I have the MS version. I'm pretty sure. But this I've rarely used though, but it's good. It's good, but I rarely use it. The clipper I'm sure is good. I don't know if I used it, but it looks similar to like K-Clip in the way that it operates. I'm sure it has a great sound. Where else? BX Digital V3. Haven't used this in a long time, but highly recommend it for people who are getting into mixing, trying to learn mixing and mid-side and all that type of stuff. Great plugin, super slept on, but we kind of moved over to FabFilter Pro Q3 for all things EQ. That's a great one if you guys want to do something a little bit different. What else is there? Master Desk Pro. Whoa. Only 30 bucks. I might even grab this one because I don't have the newer version. I have the older version. It has all the right things to just get a good sound on the master. So that I would recommend for 30 bucks. Here's one of my favorites though, the XL V3. This thing sounds like nothing I've ever used before. It could just add a grit to the sound, the lows specifically, and the sides to really make your stuff, whether it's beats or vocals or melodies, sound really unique and with the timbre. So this one I'd highly recommend. The BX XL, you also get a demo version, but I recommend you guys just grab it while it's 30 bucks now. Because the reason I didn't buy it is because it was a little too overpriced in my opinion. But the Master Desk and the XL are the ones I would highly recommend so far. All the other stuff is kind of like boutique or very specific for stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Now this one is a sleeper, the VSM3, super slept on. I don't use this a lot, but it's a very unique plugin, so I'd recommend you guys at least try that. That's pretty much it. Okay, those are my picks. The XL V3, super recommended, very great sound. And the Master Desk Pro, I have the one before this, the Master Desk, but this upgrade is really good. I think actually the upgrade might have, see this XL knob? I think it has parts of this XL, but the XL is more elaborate. All right, moving on. Native Instruments, again, nothing really to recommend here individually, but their ecosystem as a whole is really good, especially Contact 8. You guys have to, if you guys are into melodies or music production, you need to at least know that the Contact 8 player is completely for free. And there's so many Contact libraries on the market that, you know, I sit here all day trying to go through them all. Yeah, Contact, you need to know about Contact. I don't really mess with all this stuff. They have Olympus. This used to be the secret weapon back in the day. Voices of Rapture. Oh man, they got this in here. That's gonna be interesting. That used to be like back in the SoundClick days. That was the secret weapon. Interested to know. So the Stradivari violin is very good. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and just scroll and scroll and scroll if there's nothing here for y'all. Battery 4, what most people don't know is you could load up drums in Battery 4, but the real value is that they give you the actual samples for Battery 4, which is like a lot of people make their drum kits using Native Instruments stuff tweaked a little bit, and they get the source sound from the Battery 4 drum library. Like a lot of the sounds you guys use, whether it's like trap sounds or whatever, or acoustic sounds, it came from the Battery 4 sound library. So that's where you get the source sounds from. Now Safari Pedals is having a deal. This is more of a vibe company to my opinion. I use it for vibe. I forget which plugin I have. I forget which one I have in particular. I want to say it's Time Machine. Yeah, Time Machine is cool. It's a vibe. Am I like trying to get specific compression and like specific things with these plugins? No, it's just like, does it create a vibe? Does it not? And if you guys are into that sound, you're into that sound, but that's a notable deal, but I wouldn't jump on it only because I'm not too invested in the ecosystem. You guys talk about ShaperBox a lot. So ShaperBox is finally on sale. I don't use ShaperBox that much. Maybe somebody in the comments does. Also on Plugin Boutique, they have some Waves deals. I think I opened up the different ones. So let's go through, this video is gonna be so long. So here is Waves Platinum, and let's see what's inside. I'll just kind of quickly show you guys what's worth it. C4 multiband's pretty good. De-esser's very good. Doubler, what else do we use? H delay, very good. L2, some people use the L3 Ultra maximizer or the multi maximizers. I forget if this is multi or just the ultra maximizer, but L2 is good. Max bass is good. MV2 is great for vocals. Mondo Mod's good for melody stuff, but we use new plugins now. The R Comp is very good. Our Vox very good. Our Compressor very good. Our Bass, if I didn't already say that. The S1, some people still use it, especially in EDM. The Vitamin plugin, some people use. And then do they have Metatune in here? Those are the ones that are good in this. Is it worth 184? So if I had to, I think I picked, let's just say it this way. If each plugin costs 30 bucks, and I picked more than 6 plugins, then that's worth it. I don't feel like going back and trying to count. That's the math on that. Okay, so what's the math here? 300. I probably wouldn't just spend on anything above 150 going into the Waves ecosystem, because Waves, in my opinion, is more like individual needs. It's not like buy this whole thing, you'll use every single plugin. So I like to like cherry pick from Waves more than I buy the bundles. Whereas UAD, I do buy the bundle. So the CLA bundle, very worth it for 80 bucks. You'd be surprised how many people use the CLA stuff on their stuff on a higher level. So again, am I going to sit here and go through this list? No. The question is, do you have 10 plugins you would choose from this list? I could probably tell y'all from this list, no, I wouldn't use more than 10 from that list. So I don't think that specific plugin has the value. 150. Now, do I use 5 plugins from this bundle? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I say that has value. All right, now let's look at the Brainworx plugins. One thing about Plugin Boutique, they have like 1,000 pop-up videos or 1,000 pop-ups. So just get ready for like 1,000,000 pop-ups. On Brainworx, you know, again, the XL3 V3 is the only one I can really recommend. BX Digital. Okay, those are the only real things that I really grab and gravitate towards. And then the HG2, if you guys are just trying to learn about the sound. Portal, surprisingly, from Output is on sale. So I always thought Portal was way too overpriced. Not because it's not valued where it is. It's just for the mass market. You know, plugin at 150 for an 1FX plugin seemed like way too much for me. I never got into it, but the fact that it's 75 bucks and people can hop into this ecosystem is pretty crazy that you guys can grab this for like 75 bucks. I don't use it, the younger kids use it. Now, one plugin I would highly recommend is Gold Clip by Swap Digital. So it says 50 bucks off, which makes it what, 199, but it comes with a payment plan. So really it's 20 bucks times 10. So you're paying monthly for 10 months. It's nothing, $20 a month. Even if you guys don't finish the payment plan, at least you get to use it. It's just so well done. There's no real thing I could say. I would have to make a video about it. And here's my offer. If you guys go to busyworksbeats.com/premium, you want to learn how to make beats like the pros. We have over 68 music production courses. Use the code 50 or 50 during checkout so that you guys get 50% off. You guys can go to busyworksbeats.com/premium to see the full list of courses. There's so many courses in here. I'm just going to quickly scroll. We have stuff on melody called Melody Mastery, Music Theory Magic, Music Theory Essentials, which is the foundation of everything I teach. You know, Music Theory Magic, so much stuff. I'm just going to scroll through, learn bass lines, melodies, chord progressions, modern melody effects, composition. And here's our beat making stuff too. We have a free FL Studio 21 course. We have the Better Beat Maker course, the Drum Magic course, the Music Producer Professionals included with premium. Okay, so now we're just adding a ton of value. The Beatmaker bundle, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot in here. Okay, we even teach you guys how to mix. Okay, so with the mixing fundamentals, this is my go-to mixing course. Okay, and then everything else is in addition to that, if you guys want to practice mixing. And then we have online business training as well, a YouTube course, the Music Producer Mastermind valued, and the Music Business Mastery, etc., etc. Really, you guys can get it the lifetime for 50% off as well. So this will be what, $250 if you grab the lifetime. So anything I have here that you guys just saw, plus, and this is hundreds of hours of course material, any future stuff that I release on this platform, which I'm guaranteed to release in the future. So you guys get lifetime access. Use the code 50 during the checkout to get 50% off. In my opinion, this is the most value because when you guys skill up, you guys can actually create value in the world, and you could use that value to invest in whatever you guys want. So when you learn how to mix, you might pick up jobs on Fiverr. You might go on Sound Better, or what is it called? Sound Better? I think that's what it's called, Sound Better, and pick up little tasks or be able to work in your local studios to get people to record and you get to mix. So this stuff applies to real world applications as well. If you're a composer, you can make loops, send out your loops for placements. Some people go for placements. Some people just have loop packs. They have loop companies. So learn all this stuff from the ground up. I even have a course on how to make your own drum kit. And it's not some BS course. It actually shows you how to make a kick from scratch, clap from scratch, hi-hat from scratch using Serum. There's a lot in here. In my opinion, this is the most value per dollar spent, in my opinion, because you're getting over $7,000 worth of value for what, $250, which is nothing. That's if you do the lifetime. Okay, so use code 50 during the checkout. Now, ImageLine also has a deal. So it says save up to 30% on FL Studio. If you guys are beginners, you don't know anything about FL, I would highly recommend the producer edition of FL Studio. Everything else is kind of like, you can buy the all plugins edition if you want, but it's not going to change much. The producer edition is great because you get to just get into FL, learn your way around. And if you find yourself using more plugins, then go to the website, go to the plugins tab, and you could kind of cherry pick plugins and grow over time. That's what I would recommend the most. Oh, and my new plugin, I have something special. In my next video, I'll show you guys the Hercules plugin. But if you go to busyworksbeats.com/Hercules, this is also 50% off. This plugin is a VST plugin. It has over 340 sounds of bass, bells, brass, guitars, leads, pads, and plucks. It's built for hip hop, R&B, trap, lo-fi, the modern genres. Okay, and I'll have something special for you guys soon enough. 340 sounds that I've, sound designed and curated for those specific genres that I said before. So go to busyworksbeats.com/Hercules to learn more about the Hercules plugin and click on these videos to hear what it sounds like. I'm going to make new videos showing it off so that, you guys have more to listen to. And I think those are all the deals. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out, guys.